Okay, do you want me to give everybody a minute or go ahead and get started?
Get started.
And- Okay. Hey guys, all right. Thank you so much for joining us. I am so excited to introduce the trainer tonight. We actually met because of Mary Kay at I think a beach bash, and we've been
Hmm.
friends ever since. And she is a brand new sales director, and couldn't have done my DIQ without her. But anyway, and she just decided, hey, you know what? I just am going to do all the things. So she's going to be our trainer tonight. So I'm so happy to introduce to you Jessica Penna.
Yay. Okay. So, different background. I chased Zach out of his office and told him that he was not allowed to work in here, that it was my turn to work in here. Okay. So, I hope everybody has been doing all the things. January. Um, it's like the teacher desert month. We don't get paid for like 6 weeks. My last paycheck was like December 18th. So, love Mary Kay. Like, Mary Kay is how sister buys her coffee, and we need the coffee and all the things. So that has always been my plan for Mary Kay. So just to share just a second, you may be on here tonight and you may be living in like a little bubble. You may be living in what I'm going to talk about as a spirit of fear, right? Because the devil likes us to stay there, and we can't stay there, okay? So, I'm going to talk to you a little bit tonight about failure. And trust me when I tell you that nobody fails bigger than I do, okay? And so, I'm a firm believer in go big or go home. Okay. I teach my students that. I tell my own personal children that. So go big or go home. And if you know me, you know that is true. So I want to start by kind of unpacking. The teacher in me wants to clear the air a minute on failure, right? So the term failure usually elicits a negative response from people. When they hear the word failure, our mind goes to, ooh, you know, look where they are. They failed, okay? But when you look into the word failure, it just means an unsuccessful attempt, okay? So you show me someone who has never, quote, failed or had an unsuccessful attempt, and I will show you someone who has never tried. Okay? Not tried as in they've never tried to do anything. Someone that has never stepped outside of that comfort zone. Okay? Now, what I have learned about our comfort zone is it's named properly. It's very comfortable, right? Leaving our comfort zone is a very scary thing, and it takes us to very scary places, okay? But when you play it safe in your life, this translates into your personal life, your work life, your spiritual life, and your Mary Kay business. So, when you play it safe, okay, where the people on the outside looking in would, be like, oh, look at that girl. Like, she's got a pretty nice thing going, right? But you have so little to gain, okay? Staying in your comfort zone does nothing to help you grow closer to God or just grow as a human being in general. What do you learn when you play it safe, right? So, all of this is going to translate into my lesson shortly. But when I tell you that in seasons of my life where people on the outside looking in, mind you, would look at my circumstances or an attempt at success, um, they would just be like, "Whew, look at her sitting on the this side of failure, and look at her." That's why I don't do things right there is because, and I'm gonna stop you. Okay, don't look at people's life when they attempt something scary. If they happen to like take a step back, or you feel like they've gone two steps forward and one step back, because you all have that person that you look at. right? We all do. We have that person that we look at that is in like the spotlight. It's in our vision, right? And we watch them. And sometimes people don't tell us about failures. They want everything to look perfect. And that's a whole other problem, right? Because real life is messy. And anytime you go for a goal, honey, you're going to fail at some point. Okay? But we have to quit thinking about failure as something that's terrible, right? It's not terrible. It's not terrible. It is, like I said earlier, an unsuccessful attempt. But my question is that your last attempt at the goal? Is that the last attempt at the goal? Okay? If when you have that unsuccessful attempt and you're like, I'm done, that's it, like I can't do it anymore. Now, that's a whole different thing. Okay? That's a whole different thing. But I have failed on more than one occasion in Mary Kay. It was an unsuccessful attempt. And you know what? I didn't quit. I didn't quit. I didn't sit back. I didn't take the L. Okay? Sister's not taking the L. I had to like step back and I had to reassess and I had to think about all the things that we know how to do in Mary Kay. I had to rethink about it. Okay? Then I had to get around all these awesome women that are on my team and all these awesome directors that are in our unit family. And I saw their belief in me that they didn't look at me as like, oh, she failed, we're done with her. Like we don't look at people that we love like that, right? So that is a mindset thing. And we're big in Mary Kay about talking about mindset, right? And that really is the truth. How do you look at yourself? How do you look at the times where you've gone for something and you haven't hit it? Or do you not go for things because you're scared of not hitting it? Okay? So I can honestly say, in those times in my personal life and in Mary Kay, when I have had an unsuccessful attempt, guys, I have learned more about God. And through trial, He has shown me more about who I am as His daughter and who I am as a mother and a consultant and just all the areas. It just all trickles down. James 1 2 says, "Blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial, for when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life." Okay? It doesn't say, oh, the steadfast man is steadfast because he never faces anything hard. That's not what it says. Steadfast under trial. It's assuming that we are going to go through trials. Romans 5 3 and 4. We also glory in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope. Now, if you're a note taker, I would encourage you to write down what I'm about to say, even if you don't write down anything else. So here it is, the whole lesson. Do not be afraid of failure. Do not be afraid of that unsuccessful attempt. Okay? Second Timothy 1 7 says, "For God gave us a spirit, not of fear, but of power and love and self control." So, a trick to life: do not live in a spirit of fear. Live in His power, live in His love, and practice self control. Okay? So, fear is Satan's way of taking your blessings, honey. Okay? We've heard people say this time and time again. The Lord wants to bless us. Okay? Do we deserve His blessings? No, not always. We know this. But He wants that for us, just like a mother wants to bless her child, her children. Okay? The Father wants that for us. Now, it's when you never face adversity that you may want to take a second look at your life because one, And this is a hard truth that we've all had to face as followers of Christ, okay? Satan doesn't worry with people who aren't walking with God or seeking his will for their lives. He doesn't. If you're playing in Satan's playground, he's not worried about you. Okay? That's a scary thought, right? And two, maybe you aren't putting yourself in that air of uncomfortableness where you have to rely on God. I used to be sitting there only doing things that I could do in my own power, and God wasn't receiving any glory in that place. And I want my life to point people to God, right? I want people to look at my life and be like, how is she accomplishing all those things? Because that's when I can be like, hey, that's God working through me. It's not anything that I'm doing, at all. I have a great team with very strong women, but even those women will tell you we couldn't have accomplished the things that we accomplished in November and December without God. He was present, He was there, right? So, in Mary Kay terms, that looks like, are you setting your goals at a completely realistic level? Are you reaching out to a practical number of people? And I say this because I have been there, probably more recently than you would think. Okay? But put your trust in Him and He will see you through. I've heard Miss Pam say more times than I can count, shoot for the moon and you will land among the stars, right? Goals are missed. In Mary Kay, in life, goals are missed. But that's okay, right? You have to reach out for people. Miss Pam always says this. Make a chicken list. Go through social media at the people who, you want to look at. They have it all together. Maybe they're very real. Message them. If you don't ask, you don't know. There's three answers they could give: yes, no, and crickets. And none of those are scary, right? So don't be afraid of the word no. So, my son's grandfather told me one time, it was when I first worked, man, I've had a lot of jobs, right? One of them was I sold electronics at Sears. Yes, one of my first sales jobs. And, people were telling me no, and it was commission and all those things. And he's like, Jessica, they can't take away your birthday. And that's so true. No is just a word. And like any word, it only has the power that you give it, right? If you think no is the worst thing ever, then it's going to be the worst thing ever when somebody tells you no. But it shouldn't be. We should not be scared of the word no. It's just a word. Don't give it that power over your life, right? Don't let Satan tell you they didn't message you back, they hate you. Don't ever message them again. Like, that's not it. Guys, we're busy. Women are busy. We work, we have kids, we take care of houses, we forget things, right? We forget. I forget. I forget when my nail appointments are, and I am serious about my nail appointments. But Emma, she's on it. She messages me and she's like, Jessica, our appointment's tomorrow at 4. And I'm like, good looking out, girl, because I would not have been there. Right? So work the numbers. In Mary Kay, it's about 1/3. So, way more successful women than me have tested this theory and it doesn't lie. Sorry, guys, I have a whole sinus infection going on. So, ask 10 people, you will get 3 yeses, right? So, treat
Mhm.
every challenge like that. You want to be a red jacket with a 3-person team? Reach out to 30 women for chats. 10 will help you out. 3 will actually join, right? That's the numbers. And plan for success because it doesn't just happen. Mary Kay gives us tools, right? And as stubborn as a person as I am, and Shaughnessy can tell you exactly how stubborn that is, use the weekly plan sheet, guys. Just do it. The layering sheet that they have. I checked. These are in Bold's Facebook files. I looked because I told a couple of my team members about the weekly plan sheet. Now, I will say this, I have fashioned the weekly plan sheet into my Google Calendar. And if any of you guys or gals are more about technology and not so much keeping up with papers like me, then I can totally tell you how I do that. I can send you a screenshot. I send it to Shaughnessy most weeks. I'm like, look, I've got an appointment here. This is what it is. Even as a DIQ, even as a director, like I have that person that holds me accountable. And you always go up, right? You always go up. So Shaughnessy is my person, right? So have the tracking posters, color them in. Guys, I'm a teacher. Even 14-year-olds who are kind of mean, they like to color. Okay? So do the sheets, bubble in all the things, like keep track of it. Numbers don't lie. So, do plans always work out? No. But there's a plan in place, and so it's easier to pivot, and that's really what it's about, guys. It's about making a plan so we know, okay, this is happening, I'm going in this direction. And so when that doesn't work out, you kind of know, okay, well, this didn't work, so I'm going to pivot, I'm going to change to where I'm doing this. Okay, so also, understand that not every idea you have, even when you think it's the best thing that you've done all year or all quarter, is going to work out the first time you implement it. And I heard this at leadership, okay? It takes perseverance, it takes the push, it takes staying in it, okay? Just because you reach out with something like listen for a lip gloss, the first time I did it, it did not work out. I gave away so many lip glosses and had no real results. Well, I didn't do it correctly, right? So does that mean that listen for a lip gloss is a total waste? No. No, it does not. It means that I need to tweak some things. I need to change some things. I need to seek someone higher than me and say, hey, this is what I sent to these people. They responded. Now, what can I tweak and change so I get better results? Right? You have to figure out what works for you. Okay. Now, finally, there's so many ways to work this business right now. But you have to be willing to try them all in order to find out what works for you. Okay? Traditional Mary Kay is seeing faces around a table. So, faces around a table. If you put the product on the people, they will love the product. You know that, right? How many products do you use? Are you expecting customers to purchase products, but you yourself don't use the products you're recommending, right? So you have to use the products to know how to sell the products. Put the products on your face, right? Then other women will want to put the products on their face. That's the key, right? Mary Kay Ash says nothing happens till someone sells something. Well, no one's gonna sell it. Nobody's gonna buy it if you're not putting it out there for them. Okay. Mary Kay is direct sales, right? We all know this. That means that they buy directly from us. Guys, they're not, you know, watching commercials of Mary Kay. You are the commercial. Your social media story and all the things like that is how we advertise. So, are you advertising to your customers? You don't have to go live, right? Post a picture, you know, message someone. Samples work super great for a lot of people. Shaughnessy likes to message people and do things at coffee shops, just chill with a cup, a beverage, or whatever, and then people try product on the back of their hand. Christy is the queen of a facial. She's going to book. She is going to have people to see every week. I love one on ones. Like I'm a COVID baby, right? I came in during COVID and virtual was all I knew how to do. And now I'm being introduced to all these new fun ways. So figure out what you like, give everything a try, and then you'll truly know you can hone your plans, right? And you can truly make this business work for you. right? Fear is Satan's way of taking your blessings. Okay? So remember these things. Failure means that you're trying. Playing it safe never pays out big. Being willing to fail means that you're willing to grow and to learn and to trust in God to take you to the places where you want to go. And don't live in fear of failure or anything, okay? Success doesn't just happen. Persevere and be intentional. Okay, that's all I've got for you guys tonight. Ooh,
Oh, girl, I'm not through writing. I needed you to talk a little bit more.
sorry.
Um, no, it was awesome. It was awesome. So, of course, I'm gonna let everybody say stuff, but I gotta say something first. I don't even know. I love it all. But no only has the power that you give it. I loved that. That was really good. And it was so funny because not funny. God had it all prepped. But anyway, our preacher talked about how fear kills more dreams than failure. And that tied right in with you saying how you said willing to fail means you're willing to learn and God can take you where he wants to lead you. I mean, that was just so good. That was so good. You did so good,
Oh,
Jessica. Thank you for speaking for us. And I'm gonna push while everybody else can unmute and say what they want to say.
I loved no one can take away your birthday.
yeah, father-in-law,
I
full
know.
of wisdom.
Until you told me that, I had never ever heard that. I was like, that's good right there. That's like a different way of saying it, but that's good. And then I loved fear is Satan's way of taking your blessings. I heard in my brain, I heard stealing your blessings. But
Mhm.
yes, yeah. So good. So good.
Man. I hope I'm a little crusty. Like it's woke up and it
It
was
was awesome.
Saturday. Yeah. Again, Satan's trying to take away my blessings with
That's
this
right.
throat, but yes.
I also like how you said an unsuccessful attempt is failing. Just that shift in your
Yes.
mindset, it really does make a difference.
Mindset is everything. And I wrote this literally. I wrote my notes as soon as on Saturday, and I sent them to Miss Pam. But everything I said is basically about my own story. So I feel like that, we learn and we grow from our failures. Like from those unsuccessful attempts where we truly learn from them. And so everything I said is personal use, ladies. Like it is personal experience, 100%.
I love that in Mary Kay, like you can't be hired as a director. Like you have to promote yourself from within. Nobody can keep you from promoting, but
Mhm.
because of what you just said. Because if we share it with you, I tell them all the time, y'all may have heard me say this, but the directors have definitely heard me say this, that God trusts them with the microphone in their hand to use whatever comes into their life for his, glory and our good. So I love that. It's real. We live it. Live, learn, and pass it on.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, well, a proud mama moment. But so excited to hear you share, Jessica. And y'all, Jessica, everything she said, like weekly plan sheet, she's always been so accountable as a consultant, guys. And so if you're looking for how can I promote, that's one of the biggest things you can do is accountability with your director, because even as a consultant she would like, this is how many chats I have, this is what I've got going on, and even now she still does the thing. So being accountable to that person above you. I love the three answers are yes, no, and crickets. And none of them hurt us.
Mm-mm.
I love crickets. I can fish and find more people, more fish in the pond with crickets, right? So I love that. And then my favorite thing was when a plan is in place, it's easier to pivot, because I think sometimes when we don't have a plan, weekly plan sheet, whatever, we're just like squirrel, we're just like running around trying to put things in a basket. But when you have a plan and it doesn't work out certain things, then it's easier to pivot. So thank you for that nugget. I love that. You did amazing. So proud of you. Congratulations. Your first Failing Forward training as a director. I'm so excited.
Not nervous at all. Not at all. It's fine.
To
You did
add,
great, Jessica. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
sorry, just to add with when you said the uncomfortable is, that's how you're going to grow and that's how you're going to move forward. Your no's, your today's no's, you're literally sprinkling the seeds. Those today's no's might be tomorrow's yeses. They might not say yes today, but they might think about it. And so if you layer with that layering sheet and you keep on doing the things, who knows? Who knows? Because if it's written and if it's for us, it will be, right?
That's right.
Yes, ma'am. I heard at leadership so many notes, so many great speakers. But one thing too, and I like to think in simple, practical terms. That's just how my mind works. And so someone said, if your schedule or your date book is empty, so is your wallet. And so just making it and stating it in those terms, I'm like, yeah, how many appointments do I have this week? Because if I have no appointments, I have no money, and that is a problem. So, you know, we, most of us, unless we're new, and if you're new and you're like, all the things she says sound really good, I need to know more about that, then reach out to your director and shoot. We won't. I know, Shaughnessy told me, as a consultant for the past 3.5 years, she's like, I want you to reach out to me every day, if need be, every day. And it got to where, like, when I was hosting parties and had things on my books every week, I didn't necessarily have to reach out to her every day, but I was definitely trying to at least be in her space in a text. Like, hey, I've got this done, if nothing else but for accountability. And it's true. If you have no appointments or you have no, girl talking giveaway people, or chats or whatever you and your director call, if y'all don't have any, like, there's no plan. You have to have a plan. And even the directors, I'll say this, and I'm not trying to embarrass you, Christy, because I know you love when I talk about you. At leadership in the afternoons, when it was much easier for me to like go up to the room and rest or whatever, Christy was going down and she was going to book appointments. And we did. And I went with her, and she was a very good example during that time because I got a lot of stuff done during that time. And it was an hour. It was an hour, 1 hour. Yes, power hour. So, like that, I mean, that just tells you right here, you have to get the product on the people. However, that looks, whether it's mailing or whether it's meeting somebody at a coffee shop or whether it's doing in person or whether I love having people come one on one. That's how my bingo board gets filled up, one on one appointments. And I don't turn down a group effort, obviously, but, like, however it goes, the product has to get on the people. Like,
Yes.
it's
Definitely.
that simple.
Man, girl, you did some good. Mic drop.
Yeah. Jessica, I was going to say, sorry, Christy, I wanted to just
No,
make
you're
sure.
good. You're good.
This was like such perfect timing. So every time I think like, okay, I got to dig my heels in, I think about Jessica because she says, come on, Crystal, it's time for that crystal grit. I'm like,
Grit.
okay, the crystal grit. So today was one of those days where I was just like, okay, Crystal, it's time for the crystal grit. And so this is just such God's timing. And I know I'm not the only one that thinks that, but this message for us tonight was truly like from him through you. And I'm so grateful.
Thank you, ma'am.
I second that. I feel like you were a continuation of the sermon Sunday. So I got it, Lord. I got it. Anybody else have any last words before I let everybody get back to trying to stay warm?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jessica. I know the Lord's going to bless everything you said. It was so good. So many good things. I love you, and too long till I see you again in person. But I'll see you on Boxer. So, all
Will,
right, y'all have a great night.
love you guys.
Thank you, Jessica. Love you.
It was
Bye.
great.
See ya.